Our Central Bank of Nigeria signed an agreement with the International Finance Corporation to boost local currency financing for Nigerian businesses, marking a key outcome alongside the IMF and World Bank annual meetings. Now, the partnership will enable the IFC scale its Naira-denominated investments across priority sectors of the Nigerian economy. The collaboration is set to channel over $1 billion in financing to drive economic growth, job creation and diversification across the country. The federal government declared that the presidential compressed natural gas initiative had attracted over $75 million in private investments. In addition, the government financing for the energy sector as well. Now, the special advisor to the president on energy, Mrs. Oluwahegien, closed this in Lagos yesterday at the ongoing Oil Trading and Logistics Africa Downstream Week Expo 2024. Now, for more on these stories, I'm joined now, as always, by Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu. Good morning to you, Mr. Chika. You're enjoying the capital city a little too much, it appears.
Don't worry, I'm coming to you tomorrow. I'll come back to you tomorrow.
All right. We're waiting for you in Lagos. Well, let's begin with the Central Bank of Nigeria and the International Finance Corporation signing a $1 billion deal to support local currency financing. What should we know about this?
I think the very important word there is local currency financing. The financing is going to be in Naira. Even though this agreement was just signed yesterday, we don't have the full nitty-gritty details. But I can tell you elementally the key issues involved in this program. $1 billion. Normally, what will happen? Okay, let me take the bigger picture. You know, CBN historically, or the last tenure, had been involved in development financing, where they were intervening in financing companies, especially in the high important value sectors of the economy, high impact sector of the economy, to provide them financing, which is the number one problem most of them have, and to drive their business. They were actually doing it directly. And then when the new CBN governor came to his tenure, he said they were not going to do that again. And indeed, I think they dissolved, literally made dormant the Development Finance Department. And then they tried to start working through third-party partners who will provide this funding for on-lending to the different companies in the sector. So this funding by AFC, $1 billion, is one of such. Now, but the beauty of this is that in the past, a lot of Nigerian companies had taken this IFC loan in dollars, so they have been exposed to foreign currency risks. And so you find somebody who borrowed dollars, equivalent of $1 million, when in the rate was 600. Suddenly, when it moves to 1,000 plus, you see, it just messes up the person's working capital and balance sheet. But this one is going to be on lent in Naira. And that's the beauty of it. The borrowing will be in Naira. And I guess the disbursement vehicle will be through Nigerian banks at low interest rates. And as I keep saying, the major issue is not even that the availability of the money for the Nigerian companies, especially the SMEs. The issue has always been the collateral, the security arrangement, the risk management framework that under which these companies will assess the loan, and the repayment modes. I mean, so summary, financing is the major limiting factor for a lot of companies in Nigeria, especially the SMEs. This will help in solving it. Foreign exchange risk is mitigated because the lending is going to be in Naira. The other issue will be the risk management framework to make sure that when they go to the banks, they won't be asking them to bring their father, grandmother, and everything, or 30-story building in Abuja and so on and so forth, which a lot of these companies don't have. Because one of the major problems of these companies in getting money from the banks is the absence of a collateral and the risk management framework to support that. So this is very important for our sector, for our country, and for the economy.
Right, and surely this is expected that the financing will also come at economically viable rates, right? What should we know about that?
Exactly. We were told that it's going to be coming at lower digit rates, because I mean, how will he give this lend company? So I mean, who does business? What business? I mean, the Nigerian interest structure now is, even though we know why, because we're fighting inflation, is how many businesses will survive at 35% interest rate? Surely not the SMEs and such like that. So I'm sure the rest will be at lower single digits.
All right, that's good to hear. Well, let's look next at the presidential compressed natural gas initiative. Now, the federal government says it has attracted over $75 million in private investment. This certainly sounds very promising, doesn't it?
Yeah, our president has said it out loud to us. Go and buy fuel at 1,000 naira per liter, or use gas at 200 naira per liter. It's your choice. And so there's been a lot of push for the diversification or the alternation for movement from what we're used to, the regime of compressed natural gas. But as I say with a lot of key initiatives in Nigeria, I think the people in pushing these narratives or these projects should come down to the levels and find out why, despite the obvious advantages of gravitating from the petrol or PMS level to this compressed natural gas, why is the crowd not flowing to it? So they should understand the limiting factors. What are the constraints preventing people from going to this compressed natural gas and work on them? That's basically the point I'm pushing. A lot of funding is coming to that area. We have heard about the increase in the number of refilling stations all over Nigeria, from low as 7 to about 123, we're told now. And so they identify the limiting factors. The other thing also is the issue of safety and the change management, change mindset. Each time we see a boot of a car with that thing inside it, sometimes it looks very odd, and it's like as if fire will just set off any moment from now. If you're traveling from Lagos to Abuja by road with compressed natural gas, are you going to have refilling stations along the line? Or when they enter gallops, the thing will just explode, and so on and so forth. So a lot of education is required. A lot of explanation of how it's going to work is required. Reducing the cost of movement from the PMS structure to CNG structure also is required, and there may be spreading the payments. I've heard that some arrangements coming in now for people to do the change almost free of charge. For some type of vehicles. So all that will help in increasing the usage of CNG and the conversion to the compressed natural gas for the country.
Right, you're absolutely right about the sensitization. It's really necessary because that's really where people get a bit apprehensive about it. But surely this is great for the diversification of Nigeria's energy portfolio as well. But when it comes to the regulatory environment, though, what should we know about this, especially for investors?
Yeah, and that's where, if you followed the news, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, there was an explosion somewhere, and people were wondering, and it was a bad news for the, conversion from the regular, what we're used to now, to compressed natural gas. And the issue was a lot of quacks are coming into the system now, trying to convert the vehicles from using PMS, petrol, to using compressed natural gas. So the regulation is very, very important. How is this sector going to be regulated to make sure that we will reduce the level of accidents, so that the certification for every item of vehicle that is already converted from petrol to CNG. So that's very key. And let it not just be the typical Nigerian thing. Right,
absolutely. And we hope that this will happen sooner than later as well in terms of that sensitization. Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu, thank you so much for joining us on the Global Business Report. We'll see you again very soon, and hopefully in Lagos this time around.